Ever wondered what hidden force is turning slow deliveries into lightning fast arrivals? What if the secret to lower prices and a booming local economy was tucked away in our own backyard? Today, we're about to pull back the curtain on a quiet revolution that's reshaping your everyday life. Today, we're exploring a dramatic shift in North American trade dynamics, one that has emerged from a series of calculated responses by Canada to US trade pressures. For decades, Canada's economy has been closely tied to the United States, relying heavily on its southern neighbor for exports, energy infrastructure, and cross-border logistics. However, recent US policies, most notably aggressive tariffs on key Canadian exports, have forced Canada to rethink its economic strategy. In response, Canada has fast-tracked 18 major projects spanning mining, energy, and infrastructure in a bid for true economic independence. But what does this mean for you? Imagine living in a community where Made in Canada becomes a badge of honor. As these changes ripple through the economy, everyday Canadians from small business owners to families budgeting for monthly expenses can expect more stable prices, improved local services, and a boost in job opportunities. This isn't just an abstract policy shift. It's a transformation that will reshape how we work, live, and spend our hard-earned money. Chapter 1. US. Trade strategy backfires, the catalyst for change. The spark for Canada's bold transformation was ignited by the US trade strategy. When the United States imposed tariffs on aluminum, steel, and timber, the goal was clear: protect American industries by making Canadian goods more expensive. Instead of bending to these pressures, Canada turned adversity into opportunity. Canadian policymakers and business leaders accelerated domestic investments, redirecting funds into infrastructure and alternative trade routes. Recent figures from the Canadian Trade Commissioner's Service show that investments in these areas have increased by nearly 12% over the past 3 years, a sign that Canada is serious about reinventing its economic framework. For everyday Canadians, this means that the volatility once experienced due to shifting international trade policies could soon become a thing of the past. As local industries grow and diversify, communities will likely enjoy more reliable job prospects and improved public services. With fewer disruptions from trade wars, you might notice that the price of everyday goods becomes more predictable, giving families greater financial stability and confidence in their local economy. Chapter 2. Energy independence, pipeline overhaul, and its everyday impact historically. A significant portion of Canada's crude oil journeyed south to US refineries, a dependency that left the country vulnerable to external policy changes. Recognizing this risk, Canada is now prioritizing east-west pipeline projects that allow domestic refining and direct exports to international markets. Simultaneously, Canada is investing in renewable energy sources, wind, solar, and hydroelectric, to create a diversified and sustainable energy mix. What does this mean for you? For starters, energy prices could become more stable. With local refineries coming online and renewable projects gaining momentum, Canadians might see fewer price shocks at the pump and reduced energy bills at home. Moreover, this transformation is expected to create numerous jobs from construction to operations at new energy facilities, which can boost local economies and lead to improved community infrastructure. Cleaner, more reliable energy also means better air quality and fewer power outages, a tangible benefit for everyday life. Chapter 3. Mining expansion, fueling the EV revolution in local economies. As the global electric vehicle EV revolution accelerates, the demand for critical minerals like lithium, copper, and rare earth elements has soared. Currently, much of this supply is dominated by foreign markets, particularly China. In a strategic pivot, Canada is fast-tracking new mining projects to unlock its vast mineral reserves. The IEA's Critical Minerals Market Review 2023 highlighted that from 2017 to 2022, demand for lithium tripled, cobalt demand increased by 70%, and nickel demand rose by 40%. For local communities, this mining boom means more than just raw material extraction. It promises high-quality, well-paying jobs and economic growth in regions that host these projects. As mining operations ramp up, expect to see increased investment in local infrastructure, from improved roads to community centers funded by mining revenues. Furthermore, as Canada positions itself as a major supplier of materials for EVs and other clean technologies, consumers could eventually benefit from more competitively priced vehicles and electronics as supply chains become more localized and less dependent on volatile global markets. Chapter 4. Modernizing ports and logistics, enhancing daily commerce. Another key element of Canada's economic transformation is the modernization of its ports and logistics networks. Canadian ports, especially those in Vancouver and Prince Rupert, are undergoing significant expansions to accommodate rising cargo volumes. With new technologies like shore power, allowing ships to plug into electric sources, while docked, the environmental and operational efficiency of these ports is set to improve dramatically. The Gateway Infrastructure Program encompasses 17 projects across various trade areas, designed to improve overall port operations. These initiatives are expected to significantly boost throughput capacity and operational efficiency. For everyday Canadians, these improvements mean faster and more reliable delivery of goods. Whether you're ordering items online or relying on local businesses for everyday products, modernized ports and logistics systems can lead to shorter wait times, reduced shipping costs, and ultimately, lower prices at the checkout. Moreover, the expansion of port facilities is creating jobs in logistics and transportation, further strengthening local economies and ensuring that the benefits of global trade are felt right in our backyards. Chapter 5. Embracing Green Energy. Transforming communities and lifestyles. Canada's leap into renewable energy is not only about environmental sustainability, it's a key driver of economic resilience. Over the past 5 years, solar energy capacity in Canada has surged by an impressive 92%, with nearly 96,000 installations now operational nationwide. Alongside solar, wind, and hydroelectric projects are receiving unprecedented funding, supported by government budgets that have allocated over $2 billion towards clean energy research and development. What does this green revolution mean for you? For starters, it promises a future with lower utility bills and a cleaner environment. Imagine living in a community where renewable energy is the norm. Fewer carbon emissions, cleaner air, and a noticeable reduction in energy costs. Furthermore, the renewable energy sector is set to create a plethora of local jobs, from installation and maintenance to research and development. This shift not only supports a healthier environment, but also fosters innovation and economic growth at the community level, offering new opportunities for local entrepreneurs and workers alike. Chapter 6. Infrastructure Overhaul. Building the backbone of a resilient economy. No economic transformation can occur without robust infrastructure. Since 2017, Canada has invested over $4.1 billion in modernizing its transportation networks, digital systems, and public utilities. Projections from the Canadian Infrastructure Bank suggest that these investments could exceed 300 billion Canadian dollars by 2025. Among the flagship projects is the Gordie Howe International Bridge, set to open in 2025, which will seamlessly connect Detroit, Michigan to Windsor, Ontario, enhancing cross-border trade and easing daily commutes. For Canadians, the benefits of this infrastructure overhaul are both immediate and long-lasting. Improved roads, railways, and digital networks mean less time spent in traffic, faster public transit, and more reliable internet connections, all of which directly enhance quality of life. For local businesses, efficient transportation networks reduce logistical delays, lower operational costs, and improve access to global markets. In everyday terms, these infrastructure improvements translate into a smoother commute, more efficient delivery services, and better community facilities, ultimately boosting both productivity and well-being. Chapter 7. Diversifying Trade. Broadening Horizons. Beyond the U.S., perhaps the most far-reaching aspect of Canada's economic reorientation is its proactive new trade strategy. In light of vulnerabilities exposed by U.S. tariffs, Canada is actively forging trade agreements with regions including Europe, Asia, and emerging markets. A prime example is Canada's first liquefied natural gas (LNG) export project, backed by Shell, which is scheduled to commence operations in 2025 with a focus on Asian markets. This diversification is already bearing fruit, as China and Japan were notable Asian markets for Canadian exports in 2023, with trade values of $22.60 billion USD and $11.68 billion USD, respectively. For the everyday Canadian, a diversified trade portfolio means a more stable and resilient economy. When a country isn't overly dependent on one trade partner, it can better withstand global economic fluctuations. This translates into more reliable job markets, especially in sectors like energy, agriculture, and manufacturing, which benefit from global demand. Additionally, local communities stand to gain from increased business opportunities and more competitive prices for imported goods. As Canadian companies expand their reach and reduce costs through improved trade partnerships, ultimately, diversifying trade ensures that prosperity is more evenly distributed across the country, creating a balanced economic environment that benefits everyone. In summary, Canada's bold pivot in response to US trade tariffs is reshaping the nation's economic landscape in ways that will touch every aspect of everyday life. By investing in key sectors energy, mining, logistics, and infrastructure, and by diversifying its trade partners, Canada is laying the groundwork for a future that is both resilient and independent. For you, the everyday Canadian, these changes offer tangible benefits: stable energy prices, more local job opportunities, faster delivery of goods, improved public infrastructure, and a healthier environment. As Canada takes charge of its destiny, communities can look forward to an era marked by innovation, sustainable growth, and an enhanced quality of life. This comprehensive transformation is not without its challenges, but the potential rewards are immense. With a clear focus on economic resilience and self-reliance, Canada is poised to redefine what it means to be a modern, globally competitive nation. And as this bold strategy unfolds, every Canadian from the city dweller to the rural resident will have the opportunity to experience a more secure, prosperous future. What are your thoughts on Canada's ambitious new direction? Do you see these changes as a positive force that will uplift local communities? Or are there challenges that might temper these benefits? Share your insights and personal experiences in the comments below. If you enjoyed this in-depth analysis, please hit the subscribe button and ring the bell for more updates on industry trends, economic transformations, and the latest in global trade dynamics.